Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I want to share my personal experience with the new crafting order system, and I want to explain why I think that at the moment it's really not working well. Please keep in mind that what I'm going to talk about in today's video is really based on my own experience, and this is my personal opinion. So I'm sure that a lot of people have different type of experiences with these new crafting orders, and I'm sure that a lot of people would disagree with me. Also, keep in mind that I'm playing on a low pop realm, so a lot of things I'm going to talk about is based on my experience on the low pop realm. And if you're playing on a high pop realm, probably you have a different experience with these different crafting orders. Also, I would love to hear from you. What is your personal experience with these different crafting orders? Have you been able to get a lot of them done? Have you been able to perform a lot of them? And have you been able to make a lot of gold with these different crafting orders or not? So before I start diving into all the different things that I think are not working with these different crafting orders, I just want to re-emphasize how time consuming and pretty difficult it is to actually upgrade all the different professions and to become competitive in Dragonflight. So of course, as I'm sure you're all aware, with Dragonflight, you need to get a lot of these different knowledge points in order to just unlock all these different things and to become very competitive, because when you unlock some of these traits, you will get some inspiration, some multi-craft, crafting speed, all these different things that will allow you to become way better at crafting, and that will make it more difficult for people who don't have all these different things unlocked to follow others. So this is already something that will require you a lot of time trying to do all these different activities in order to get some of these knowledge points. Then there are a lot of very good recipes that are simply locked behind all the different reputations. And most of them actually require you to spend a lot of time trying to grind for all these different reputations, which is fine by me, but I just want to again highlight how difficult it is for some people to actually unlock all these different things and then to master these different things. And then of course you have the different specializations. You need to understand all of them. You cannot, for instance, undo some of these different specializations. So for instance, if I put some points right now in one of them, I won't be able to then change that. And sometimes you realize afterward that, for instance, you needed this little trait just here or this sub trait of this sub trait in order to actually become competitive. But you will have to unlock even more points in order to actually unlock these other traits. So this is something that takes a lot of time for people to figure out. And this is something that people really are spending a lot of time on. So now let's talk about the crafting orders. On my low pop realm, the public orders have been a huge failure. So on all the different professions since the beginning, since the launch of Dragonflight, I've only seen maybe 4 or 5 for each of the different professions, and that's it. And most of them are either things that you cannot actually craft at the moment because the recipes will only be available after next week, or things that honestly are not really interesting, such as all the different treaties with inscription and that won't really get you anywhere. And then there is another issue. The thing is that, for instance, with some of these, as you can see, I have the recipe unlocked, but I can't actually craft the item because the person is requesting to have this draconic missive of the Aurora added. And unfortunately, I haven't unlocked the possibility to craft items with specific missives yet. So right now, the only item from all the different professions that I can actually craft, I can't simply because I haven't spent too much knowledge points on this other little thing that I can then unlock in order to then craft this item. So this is really bad. It means that right now there are no public orders whatsoever on my low pop realm. And with that, it's either things that I can't because it's again locked behind a pretty intense reputation grind, or also it's simply things that I can't because, well, again, I haven't unlocked the right traits. And then even when sometimes there are some interesting crafting orders, as you can see here, the commission is so ridiculous compared to how difficult it is to craft the item that of course no one is going to perform the craft. So for instance, this item, the Infused Foot Wraps of Indemnity, is one of the PvP items. In order to get the recipe, it's very difficult, and when there is one plan that is available on the auction house, it's probably going to go for 400k gold or 300k gold. So of course, no one is going to spend 300k gold on a recipe and then like just accept to craft it for 1000 gold. So really, I feel like this is really something that is not working well. And for me, the public orders are a major failure. Again, I haven't been able to try it out on a hyper realm. I don't know really how it is. I'm sure that people have a little bit more like, yeah, of these crafting orders available. And I'm sure people are able to probably make a little bit more gold. But on the low pop realm, I can tell you this is a big failure. Now, the only thing that people can actually do to avoid having to suffer from this lack of public orders is to ask in trade chat if people can send them private orders. So usually what people do is they simply advertise for their profession. You just write in trade chat like, hey, I'm crafting all these different items. If you want, please send me a personal order and I will answer it. For instance, on my realm, I know that the only people that have been able to actually fulfill a lot of these different orders were mostly private orders, and it was mostly from their guildies and friends. Otherwise, it has been very difficult for people to actually have anyone asking them and then craft all these different items. And if you go on a hyper realm, you can see that people are just spamming and spamming the trade chat, trying to get some people sending them some private orders. So I'm sure that some people are able to make quite a lot of gold because like that, you can ask the person, hey, put this amount in commission and then I will do it for you. Otherwise, I won't fulfill the order. So of course, you have a little bit more freedom in terms of like the commission and how you want things to go. But it's such an extra step to have to go in trade chat, had to like find someone and really advertise a lot when people could have simply crafted all these items and post them on the auction house and it would have been done. Right now, from what I've seen, people who have been able to make a lot of gold with the different professions were using two things. First of all, the different professions that allow you to get a lot of nice materials and everything from open world farms, and then you don't have to go through the crafting order system, you just sell all these directly on the auction house. Also, then you have a lot of people who just made a lot of gold by crafting all these other items that you can directly sell on the auction house. For instance, I've been able to sell a lot of the different green PvP items or all these other like equipment for the professions. But other than that, I haven't been able to do one single thing. For instance, I really thought that blacksmithing with the different weapons was going to be good. So I tried to unlock some of these, but unfortunately I haven't seen any of the different weapons in the crafting orders so far. Same with the inscription. I really thought the Dark Moon boxes were going to be pretty good, but unfortunately no one ever asked for even one of them. And keep in mind, I'm really checking like multiple times a day. So I think I would see if someone was asking for one of these items. So really right now, the reality is that if you want to make some gold through these different crafting orders, you will have to probably like ask people to send you some personal ones. So it's a big extra step for the crafters. And unfortunately, it's not working well. I'm sure that if we would have been able to craft some of these items and post them on the auction house, we would have been able to sell way more of them and to make much more gold. For instance, even some of the little BOEs that you're able to get, for instance, this 372 trinket, I was able to sell it for 300k gold on a hyper plum. When you are actually able to, for instance, ask for the Dark Moon boxes that are like for like 20 more eye level or something like that than this trinket. But still, people prefer to buy these different things because it's just easier for everyone to just buy an item and then equip it. That's really simple. So right now, unfortunately, this is the reality. Let's say again, this is my personal on the low pop realm. So please let me know in the comments what is your experience on the hyper realm. I have a small hope that with the release of the new raid, maybe some people will be interested in having some of these new items crafted with the new like primal infusion that will increase the eye level of all these different crafts. But other than that, I don't even really see why people would spend so much gold on these different pieces because unfortunately, just by doing open world, like, you know, activities, for instance, killing rares or just opening chests, you are able to get some items that have an eye level 380, 389. So of course, people are not going to spend too much time focusing on all these crafted items. But again, this is something we'll have to see. For now, it's really not working well. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos. And in the meantime, I wish you all a great Saturday. Bye.